I grew up a follower. I had a keen eye for the things around me. I guess that might have been because as a child I bounced around from home to home, living at one of my mother's friend's house for a few months and then to another. I had to pay attention. I followed tradition. I shut up when I was supposed to. When people asked how home was, it was perfect, like any other family. At school, to explain the bruises, well, I just accidentally fell. I didn't like many of the things around me. I hated that just about every woman in my family was either single or divorced, that everyone drank, that half of the guys, those who were alive, were involved in gangs, and nobody in the household showed any emotion whatsoever. You dealt with shit and sucked it up. This was normal. Or so I lied to myself and believed it to be. Even though I didn't like it, I just went with it. Looking back, I see I didn't have the willpower to go out on my own and do the stuff that wasn't familiar to me. The thought was scary, so I crept inside my shell and did what others did. I held everything inside. I stopped writing in journals, and instead I wrote on walls. I later traded in my paint and crew for weapons in a gang. I traded in myself to be accepted by the collective mind. I did want to be different, but I was too scared. That's the truth. I was afraid, so I conformed. That was the biggest lie I ever told myself. I went to jail, the place I thought I was destined for. From the time I was 7, mother told me this is where I'd end up. Deep down, I hated her telling me that, and I wanted to prove her wrong, but sadly, I didn't. I was stereotyped as a Hispanic who grew up in a bad neighborhood and went to jail. But I knew I was different. I always was. I never really fit in. Back then, I didn't understand that. But sometime during my prison sentence, I discovered that when I chose to do the things I liked, I felt good. I didn't feel ashamed of myself, and I began to like John, and not in a narcissistic way. The rituals were clear. Shave your head, wear oversized clothes, put a symbol on your body that shows others what you think you own and who you are. Talk in a manner that shows you're a man, whatever that means. Walk stiff jointed, and when you stand, spread your feet at an 120-degree angle to show off your posture. Don't lend a hand because you're living in a place where every individual has taken a leg. Learn to hurt others and brush it off. Build hate for unknown enemies and fume at the sound of them. Don't be you. Leave all of the memories of your past life at the entrance when you check in. Forget any small acts of kindness and all your memories of your past. Forget any small acts of kindness you might have known and never attempt to bring them back. Conform. Don't question. Feed into the repetitive cycle. This was especially true for the younger ones. For those like me, sentenced as an adult at 17. After 6 months on the lockdown, I stopped. I've been doing this for months. Being in one place for so long, understanding the walls, knowing your steps and how to pace correctly. The world is like clockwork. Wake up, brush my teeth and fold my sheets, roll up the mattress and wait for the slot in the door to produce a meal. Work out, sometimes twice a day. Clean the toilet endlessly and get it shiny. A way to see myself, I guess. One of the few reflections, a reminder that you do exist. Shower like a bird and clean up. Eat, watch Ellen. Sleep, eat again. Occasionally smoke weed and more than frequently drink. But today was different because I sat on my bunk and decided to scribble away. I had wrote before, but not like this. Not all night. Not where I hurt penning every word, feeling my neck muscles tighten and my memories in my throat, the yeast in mother's breath, remembering being alone, and this time I couldn't run. I knew prison was never for me, but I was in there and had to deal with it. Now, finally, I had a chance to do different. There was a huge roadblock ahead of me, the same one I had seen when I was younger. I couldn't give in and conform because deep down, I knew right from wrong. And if I contributed to the madness inside prison, I would die inside. I wanted to be me, even if I got hurt, even if I was killed. I had to do what I believed in. That's all that mattered. First, I began to fix myself. I got my GED. I stayed away from alcohol and weed. I went to self-help groups. I backed down from situations I never thought I could back down from. I got my AA degree. I became an English and writing tutor for the clerk and a clerk for the college in there. Along with a friend, I began to sit down with the guys who had just arrived in the prison and gave them a full layout of what to expect in school, doing time, with family, with themselves. I played Dungeons and Dragons with them, and I even role-played. I didn't help other people in prison because I wanted the credit for helping. I didn't want the thank yous or certificates to certify what I had done. For the first time in my life, I began to do things because I wanted other people to see that it's okay to be yourself in any environment, including prison. I couldn't reach out to every single person, but when I saw a few of the guys finally get that it was okay to talk about shit, that you didn't have to be all macho, that you could be a bookworm or a geek, that you could play volleyball and have fun, that you could spend your time doing the simple stuff that we had never experienced as children. And I knew that that was all that mattered, man. I had helped the younger me, the me of 5 to 7 years ago, the me who went to prison at 17 years, after 17 years of not paying attention to my real self. I had desperately wanted someone to show me the way, but I had to do that for me. And I knew it wasn't right for others to suffer, so I began to change what I didn't agree with. And without wanting or expecting it to, becoming myself paid off. 10 years ahead of my release date, Governor Jerry Brown commuted my sentence and released me. I was shown that the good isn't always overlooked. Thank you.